Yo, what is going on, everybody? I know. It's Tuesday night. It's Tuesday Night Tailgate. You weren't expecting me. Maybe you were expecting me in another box or something, but I'm filling in for the next 2 weeks. That's right, the next 2 weeks for my boy, the mock draft guy. He's got some things going on. He's going to Mexico next week. So you're going to see your boy TK and a guest or two as you see live on screen right now. And yo, boys, the NFL is here. It is Tuesday Night Tailgate, and we are just 2 days away. 2 days away right now. Literally right now, 2 days from now, 48 hours from now, we will be watching the kickoff of the NFL season with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Detroit Lions. And as always, your boy TK in the house. And welcome to Tailgate for Tuesday Night Tailgate. And as always, if you're watching, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Sports, wrestling, entertainment. We got so much good stuff right here. So please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. And after we're done, keep it right here because the director's cut featuring our boy Graydon's going live talking about the Equalizer 3. So if you're into movies and that kind of stuff, keep it here for that. But gentlemen, as I said, we're here to talk about the NFL, and I am stoked for this weekend. We got 16 games. Of course we do. It's opening week, Thursday Night Football. We only have one Monday Night Football game this year, which I was kind of intrigued by. We've had two over the past few seasons. But hey, the people have heard me talk enough. I want to bring in my guest. First and foremost, the host of the Dome Field Advantage podcast and the co-host of the World Elite podcast, my boy Dylan. What is good, my boy? Brother, how you feeling tonight?
I'm doing good, man. Just very excited to be on. Long day of work, but to come on here, talk some football with y'all, man, it's always a good time.
Yes, sir. And before we get over to my guy, my co-host on most things I'm doing nowadays, I want to give the chat big shout out. What's up? Our boy Graydon, as I said, get up on right after we're done. Stay here for the director's cut with Graydon. Nick, what is good? Universal Wrestling Podcast. Appreciate you always putting the beauty together. It's Tuesday Night Tailgate. Beautiful overlay. Appreciate you, my guy. Babe, what's good? I know you're at work right now. Appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for being here. Jordan, brother, hope you're feeling better as always. Can't wait to hear you chop it up with Dylan soon over on Dome Field. And definitely, maybe we'll see you on Tuesday Night Tailgate sometime, bro. Justin, my boy, just in time. Oh, man. No, I miss you. I always tell you I miss you, brother. Cannot wait to talk to you soon. Thanks for being here. Poppy's in the house. Oh, man, I had such a great time chilling with the fam on Sunday night for the AEW All Out Watch Along. Yo, Ivan, thanks for tuning in, my guy. San Francisco 49ers fan down there in Cali. I know you're excited for this season because you got big things on the horizon for them 49ers. Thanks for tuning in, brother. Boys, I ain't even introduced the second guest. My bad, I'm all over the place tonight. Dylan said long day for him. It was a long day for me too, but it's all good. Because we are talking football. My boy, the co-host of the AEW Dynamite Watch Along, the co-host of the AEW Dynamite Review Show, and the co-host of what? What, Dango?
Outrage Control.
Outrage Control coming Sunday nights. Dirty Dango in the house from the Bump Boys. What is good, my guy?
I'm pretty good, Tim. I can't wait to get this show going, and we got some great football this week, some intriguing matchups.
Yes, dude. Yes, we do. And that is a great segue, fellas, because that's where I want to start. What is the best match of this weekend? What is the best game of this weekend? What are you most looking forward to this weekend? Dylan, I want to start with you. Swing it on over to you, Dango. We'll kick it back to me.
So I'm gonna talk about the Lions and the Chiefs. I'm looking at the schedule for Sunday, for Thursday into Sunday, and truth be told, nothing too intriguing. I was looking at the Bears and Packers also. That new rivalry of a Jordan Love led Packers team. So I'm very curious to see that rivalry, how it's gonna go now. No Aaron Rodgers there no more. He's not terrorizing Chicago no more. So just very curious to see how that one goes. I'll be able to watch it after the Saints play at noon. So looking forward to that. But this Kansas City Detroit matchup is really intriguing to me. I'll kind of talk more about it in a little bit, but Yeah, very intrigued with this matchup. I know the Travis Kelce news came out earlier about how he hyperextended his knee in practice. He's going to be out some time. So that one's going to be such a blow to the Kansas City offense. I know that offense relies on that Mahomes and Kelce connection. So it's going to be intriguing to see how Mahomes goes with those receivers out there and even a backup tight end.
Oh, Kelce, that hurts. That hurts. I know it hurts. I know it hurts the Chiefs, but it hurts a lot of fantasy football people, especially people who took him in the first round, first, second, third, even in a lot of drafts. Dango, what game are you most looking forward to this weekend?
He picked the first game of the opening season of week 1. I'm going to pick the last one. Jets, Bills. Intriguing matchup. September 11th in MetLife. The beginning of a new rivalry between the Jets and the Bills. Aaron Rodgers' debut going in regular season debut, going against the heavily favored Buffalo Bills, which have been owning that division since Tom Brady left it about 3 years ago. So it should be an intriguing matchup. I'm excited to see how both these offenses move, especially this new look Jets offense.
You guys picked a couple of doozies. I know I'm definitely pumped about my Bears in Green Bay. I will be there Sunday afternoon on the Waldron Jet, chilling, doing my thing. Cannot wait for Bears Packers. Game I'm going to watch on TV. Well, I guess I won't because I won't be home. But if I were to watch the game, well, I will. Obviously, it's Buffalo and New York. I can't wait to see what comes of Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen and what's going to happen with that Jets team. But I don't want to kind of piggyback up Dango. I am very much so looking forward to that Chargers and Dolphins outcome to see what's going to happen there. How's Tua going to adapt? That offense is dirty on Miami. The Chargers have a new look offense with offense coordinator Kellen Moore coming in from the Cowboys. Brandon Staley, the Chargers head coach, this is his last year. If he messes up again, he's out. Like it is. It's very simple. That's a very loaded team after the way they blew that last game of the season against the Jaguars in the playoffs. They came back from 28 points down to defeat them. This is a huge year for Brandon Staley and the Chargers, and they're 3-point favorites in that game against Miami. I hate to say it's a must win to start the year, but when you look at the AFC, and me and Peter talked about it last week, when you look at that AFC, there's about 12 to 13 legitimate teams in the AFC. It is a loaded conference. So getting that head-to-head win over Miami, who you better believe there's going to be a wild card situation when it comes down at the end of the year between the Chargers and the Dolphins, because it's likely the Chiefs and the Bills are going to handle those divisions. So the wild card's going to be, they're going to be fighting for it. This is huge. This is a must-win game for the Chargers. I mean, must-win. So that's the game that I'm looking forward to for sure. And then I want to ask you guys, your teams. Dylan, you're a Saints fan. Dango, you are a Pats fan. Dango, let's start with you this time. What do you anticipate your New England Patriots to be this season?
I expect the defense to be really good. Belichick loaded up on defense. He's hoping that Bill O'Brien and Juju Smith-Schuster can reignite this Patriot offense that struggled last year under freaking Matt Patricia and Bill and Joe Judge, who two defensive guys running a freaking offense. Even like all of training camp, they've been talking about how this offense is going to move. It's going to be a fantastic new offense. Hopefully they bring back some good stuff. I saw Mac and Brady at least a couple times together, especially with them adding Ezekiel Elliott to their backfield. It's going to be a great offense. Maybe 9-8, maybe 10-7.
In that division, and quite possibly the best division in football. Ooh, those are some hopeful, but you're a fan. I get it. You're a fanatic is what you are. You're a fanatic is what you are. So that makes sense why you would think that your team would go win 9 or 10 games this year. Dylan, your Saints. I thought the Saints would get to the NFC divisional round last year. Boy, oh boy, was I dead wrong. And boy, oh boy, is Dennis Allen a bad coach. But he's got more talent than this year, especially at the quarterback position. What are your Saints going to do this year?
Yeah, so we were talking about just now, like the some of the best divisions. So let's get to the worst division. Let's get to the NFC South, who the Saints are pretty heavily favored to win the NFC South, in my opinion. Looking to betting odds, the Saints are, I think, atop pretty much everyone. Looking at Carolina coming in with that rookie quarterback. You got Atlanta that's going in with Desmond Ridder. Got Tampa Bay going in with Baker Mayfield, who, if he doesn't play well, he can get benched for Kyle Trask, who has learned behind Brady for years. So he has that experience behind Brady. Now, the Saints, though, for them, I'm focusing more on the offensive side of things. The Saints offense is something that's always been deadly with of course, with Drew Brees there. Drew Brees is gone, and now we're trying to figure out our offense. We don't have that lethal offense that we had when Drew Brees and Sean Payton was there. So now we got Dennis Allen and brand new Derek Carr there. So I want to see how Derek Carr is going to work with this new offense. We've seen him one time in the first preseason game, and they looked phenomenal. So if they can look like this on every single drive of the season, then I think that they can play well. He's playing with someone who I think should have even been in the running for Rookie of the Year with Chris Olave. It still stuns me he wasn't in even the race for it. He's working with Michael Thomas, who I'm just keeping my fingers crossed out here that he can at least play half the season. It's just ugly. He's such a talented wide receiver, and we don't get to keep him very long because it's always an injury after injury after injury. But now he's coming into a better offense. Our actual wide receiving room is pretty loaded. Chris Olave, Michael Thomas. Then we got I'm not drawing a blank on the receivers already. Rashid Shaheed, who's a speed threat. Tight end room is very loaded. The tight end room for the Saints is something that we haven't seen look very good for a while. And we're going in with guys like Jawan Johnson. We're going with Foster Moreau, who played in Vegas with Derek Carr. Taysom Hill, who does serve as a tight end, but this guy plays everywhere on the field. And then, of course, the return of Jimmy Graham, who made the 53. So, for one, Jimmy Graham he looked good in those preseason games. He had to sit that one out because of the off-the-field issue he had in California, but he came back to the Dome. He played like prime Jimmy Graham. He played with Drew Brees. So if he can play like that with Derek Carr, bringing back that prime Jimmy Graham type that he was, man, I don't see why the Saints can't do at least, 11 wins this year. And this is in an NFC that is not very good.
Facts. They're not. It's not at all.
The NFC goes around the 49ers. It goes around the Eagles. It goes around. After those two teams, who are you talking about here? The NFC is not.
Dallas is the definite third, but it's still Dallas.
Yeah, but still, the Saints. This is their division to lose. I think they win a division. They could go far in the playoffs if they're healthy. And this is something that has been the Saints' thing that works against them every year is the injuries. If they can stay healthy, I just don't see why they can't make that deep run in the playoffs. So Derek Carr, I think, will come in here and he will be that quote unquote savior for that Saints offense. We've been needing that quarterback. Jameis was all right. Andy Dalton came in. We had Trevor Siemian that had to play once Jameis went down with the ACL injury. And it's like Jameis wasn't his normal self after his ACL injury. And he was still injured with the back injury. And, Andy Dalton had to play, and that was awful to watch. So now we got Derek Carr coming into this offense, and I think we will look good. So I'm just hoping and praying we stay healthy and we actually have a good season, because since the no call, it's been a pretty bad curse on the Saints.
It's been rough. It's been real rough since that no call. I like your team. I think you're going to win your division. I think 10 wins that division. I don't know if you get to 11. But again, you're a fanatic, so it makes absolute sense as to why you're going with 11 wins. And Ivan says, I'm looking forward to Denver now with Coach Sean Payton. We'll see how Russell develop to his style offensively. Yeah, me too. I bought Streets will tell you I bought into the hype big time with Denver. I don't know. And by that, I mean, they still only win 8 or 9 games. But again, the AFC is just so good. Their division, Kansas City, the Chargers, even Oakland is a bottom feeder, or the Vegas is a bottom feeder, is still a 5-6 win team. Vegas in the NFC is an 8-9 win team. It's crazy. But yeah, Ivan, I'm definitely looking forward to that for sure. And then Ivan said, that's a bold statement, Dylan. We have to wait by week 7 to see where everyone stands in the NFC overall. Yeah, no doubt. I think it's got to be 49ers and the Eagles. God, the NFC North is so in the middle, and the NFC South is so just, yeah, woof.
Yeah.
All right. And for me, Chicago Bears, we talked about that on this show last week. I'm not going to deep dive into it. I really thought before that third preseason game, I loved all the improvements on the defensive line. I love the improvements on the offensive line. I love the improvements in the linebackers. I love bringing in DJ Moore. That was huge. I thought the offensive line was so improved. You bring in Darnell Wright to play right tackle, just an absolute hammer run blocker to play right tackle. We got Braxton Jones on the left side, who was PFF top 10 overall left tackle last year. You're moving Tevin Jenkins from the right side to the left side. You're moving Cody right here from the left to the center, and then you bring Nate Davis in for 3 years, $30 million. Like, that's the offensive line you put around Justin Fields. You bring in Darnell Mooney to give him a real number one option. You bring in Robert Tonyan. You bring in Mercedes Lewis. You talk about a good tight end room, Cole Kmet. That's really, really nice. You spend your draft picks on defensive line. You brought in Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Ward for the exact price you would have paid for Roquan Smith. The deep Tyreek Stevenson you drafted in the second round out of Miami. The kid's going to be a stud defending the back. Man, after I watched Justin Fields throw the ball weeks in that third preseason game, and again, preseason is not indicative of anything, but man, his arm angles still weren't good. Nobody was in stride. Hard passes. Ball was going to the ground. I would love to sit here and scream Super Bears and Super Bowl, be meaty and call 10 wins, but I'm going to go with 9. I'm going to go with 9, and maybe we play for a wild card spot. I don't know if we get there. Like I said, the NFC, we could finish 4th in our division and win 9 games. It could be like 10-7, 9-8, 9-8, 9-8, or like 10-7, 9-8.
That's another tough division. There's a lot of tough divisions this year.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. And you know what, Dango? You are the segue machine. So let's just get into the opening week, and let's just talk about these games one by one. We're really not going to deep dive into it. We're just going to make our picks, and then we're going to move on. Let's see what G says. He says he has the Bears going 8-8. Yeah, right in that same proximity, which is far better than the first number 1 overall seed in 50 years. So that's a much improved season under Floozy. So first game of the year, gentlemen. We got the Detroit Lions, crazy as that is, going to Kansas City, going to Arrowhead. Chiefs are 5.5-point favorites. Thursday night football. The Lions sold Ford Field out for the first time ever this year. Who you got, Dylan? We'll start with you. Detroit or Kansas City? Who's winning this game?
Stop Ford Field. It's Arrowhead.
Huh?
You said Ford Field. It's Arrowhead.
Well, no, I said Detroit sold season tickets.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah. No. There's the season tickets they sold out.
Okay, my bad.
First time. No, you're good, bro. For the first time ever, dude, which is crazy. Good for them. You know, that's all Meat Campbell. Meat. No, that's not wrong show. Dylan, who do you got in this game at Arrowhead?
So if I had Dan Campbell as a coach, I think I would want to run through a brick wall every day of my life. This guy is an absolute fantastic coach. He was in New Orleans as our tight ends coach. And when I saw he got the head coaching job in Detroit, I was so happy for him. So usually when coaches leave, we just had our defensive coordinator go to Atlanta. And I think that tore just the biggest part of my heart out, seeing just our defensive guy going to a rival like Atlanta. But I just got to go with Detroit, man. Seeing the Kelsey injury, I actually placed my bet on them today on FanDuel. I actually bet the Lions money line today because I think that line's going to go down with the Kelsey injury. He hasn't been officially ruled out. I think the Lions go more, maybe -1 something. I just caught him at +2 something. So I think that line's going to move if Kelsey's officially ruled out. But even before the Kelsey injury, I said the Lions will go to Arrowhead and they're going to upset the Chiefs because I believe in that team too much to go in there and actually spoil the Super Bowl banner dropping and all that. It's just a Dan Campbell thing to do, to go into Arrowhead and beat them. So I'm going Detroit, man. I'm going Detroit all the way. This is going to be a fun game. I'm so excited for it.
Oh, man. Dylan, I love it, man. Your energy for football, I feel it. It's contagious, baby.
I love it, man. I love it.
I'm stoked. Dango, my dude. What about you?
Super Bowl hangover is a thing. I'm going also Detroit.
Ooh,
Ooh,
okay.
I think it's could be, especially if Chris Jones doesn't play or not expected to play.
Mhm.
Detroit's going to be able to run the ball and control the clock.
There it is. That's it, right? It's Chris Jones on one side of the ball. Chris Jones is holding out. He wants to get paid. I'm hoping and praying it's by the Chicago Bears. Hey, send a first. Hey, send a second. Hey, pay the guy a lot of money. That dude's a difference maker. He's an anchor on the defensive line. He is the second best defensive lineman in the NFL behind Aaron Donald. It is no joke what he does for their defense. Travis Kelce. You would talk about why getting rid of Tyreek Hill last year didn't matter, and it didn't matter because he just pounded the ball to Travis Kelce. He leaned on Kelce all year. Kelsey's not there. Then we got to see what Matt Nagy, the offensive coordinator, Andy Reid's the real guy. We'll see what Andy Reid draws up with Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney, and we'll see what those kind of guys bring. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, and we'll see what those kind of guys bring. It's Patrick Mahomes, man. It's my goat. It's Detroit. I can't in good faith take Detroit to beat my goat on national television on a Super Bowl ceremony. I'm taking the Chiefs, but I really love Meat Campbell, and I like where your guys' head's at for sure. I think Detroit's going to win the division. I said it last week. I like the squad. Let's move on to the worst, and I mean the worst team in the NFL, the Arizona Cardinals. We'll see what happens if they get Kyler Murray back or not. But as of right now, I believe they are the worst team in the NFL. When I put my power rankings together, they will be at 32. So let's go right into it. I'll start myself this time. Arizona at Washington. Washington is a 7-point favorite. Sam Howell is taking the reins at quarterback for Washington. You got Scary Terry and you got Jahan Dotson. They got a really nice defense over there. Riverboat Ron thinks this team is on the cusp to get to the playoffs. Think if Riverboat Ron had a little bit more here last year in the head, they probably could have got to the playoffs, but he had a major gaffe at the end of the season with his quarterback. Sam Howell, I think he's going to be okay. By okay, I mean like, I don't know, 26th to 28th best quarterback in the NFL. I mean, nothing special, but I think he might be just okay enough to get Washington to one of those 8-9, 9-8 records in the NFC and compete for one of those wild card spots. Washington smokes Arizona in this game. Dango, who do you got?
I also have Washington, and they were going to smoke them. It's going to be one big giant shellacking.
Love it. Dylan?
Yeah. The Commanders are on the up and up right now. The Cardinals are an absolute dumpster fire. I think Washington wins big.
Yeah, I'm with it. Worst team in the NFL, very easily to me. Very, very easily to me. All right. Carolina Panthers. We got this is your division there, Dylan. Carolina Panthers taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons are 3.5-point favorites. Falcons got rookie sensation Bijan Robinson. Falcons ran the ball more than anyone else, barely over my Chicago Bears, but they ran the ball more than anyone else in the NFL last year. And then what they go do? They go and add Bijan Robinson, who not only is just going to be disgusting on the ground, but you see the way this kid runs his routes? I don't know. If Desmond Ridder could be anything, I anticipate Taylor Heineke being their quarterback. Not so long. But if Desmond Ridder could be something, who knows with this team? Dylan, let's start with you. It's your division. Carolina, Atlanta. Who you got?
Geez, can they boat lose? No, I'm gonna go with I don't know. I guess I'll go with Carolina. You know, they're going with Bryce Young. He's the first pick for a reason. You know, they have a new look offense. They added Adam Thielen from Minnesota. They took Miles Sanders from Philadelphia. I just think it's a new look team. I'm hoping they play us. It's not that good looking, but I hope they absolutely destroy Atlanta. Because I mean, for one, Atlanta's more of like that division rival than Tampa Bay is, than Carolina is. I absolutely hate Atlanta, so I'm gonna go with Carolina. I wish they both lose, but I'll go Carolina.
Okay. Dango, what about you, my guy?
I'm going also with Carolina. I think new quarterback should be getting ready to sling the ball, especially down there in the dome. Should be a great matchup. Should be close.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Frank Reich's going to bring to Carolina in that offense. Like you said, Bryce Young, rookie sensation, number 1 overall pick. You brought in Jonathan Mingo in the second round there. You brought in Adam Thielen. You brought in Miles Sanders. I don't know, man. I think that Atlanta's just going to control the game. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think just give me the Falcons. Two shitty teams. Give me the Falcons. I'm not going to waste too much time talking about it. Hey, you're going to talk about a couple of decent teams, though. Swing on over to the AFC North. This matchup right here should be a good matchup. Always a good matchup when you're talking about that division, black and blue division, no doubt. Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow is probable. He's likely to be playing. Thank God. He avoided missing time after the injury in practice. Go to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Browns are 2.5-point dogs. Deshaun Watson is the guy in Cleveland now. He showed last year towards the end of the year that he was starting to get his feet back under him and his arm back under him. Gentlemen, Dangle, we'll start with you this time. Cincinnati or Cleveland? Who do you have?
I'm going with Cleveland. I'm going Cleveland. I think Watson's going to have a interesting game. He should be great team, great offense. I think Nick Chubb should have a fun day running it. So should be a great game. I got Cleveland.
The dog pound is going to be in full effect that day, and this is one of those games that Cleveland could steal, one of those divisional games for sure. Dylan, what about you, man? Who do you got?
For one, Cincinnati, it all comes down to the offensive line. If they block Joe Burrow, I think he has a field day with just against this defense. Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow just had this connection since LSU. They bring it over to Cincinnati, and they've been in the running for the AFC. They were in the Super Bowl a couple years ago. They were in the AFC Championship last year. It's just theirs to lose right now. Cincinnati is just on the up and up, just like Washington. Is coming up. I think Cincinnati is in their own league right now. I think they win that division again. It's going to be a hostile environment in Cleveland. That dog pound is something else. The Saints have gone there. They went there last year. They know what that hostile environment's like. But it all comes down to that offensive line. So I think if they block for Joe, I think they win. And Jamar Chase just has a field day against that defense. I think he has a really good game.
KPG, my brother, we have not gotten to your Cowboys yet. We'll get there soon. They are the Sunday night game for sure. Thank you for tuning in, my guy. Appreciate you as always, man. And for me, this one is so hard, man. These games, we got some good games this weekend. I don't know about, I might stay away from the window this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to hit the window. I might just enjoy myself, do some fantasy football, set my 82 lineups I have to set, and enjoy the Bears game. I don't know. I go against
DraftKings.
No, I never, believe it or not, I'm not a DraftKings guy. I never do DraftKings. Maybe this year, but I never do it. I'm always on PointsBet. Games, teasers. I like teasers. I'm a teaser kind of guy. Anyway, man, give me Cleveland with the upset. But when we do our website picks, I very well probably will have Cincinnati on there. So just know that. But right now, for this exercise, give me Cleveland for sure. Something about Deshaun Watson this year. I got him in a bunch of fantasy leagues. I think he's going to bounce back to that quarterback that he once was. Maybe not like a top 8 quarterback in the league, but even this dude can get to a top 10 to 12 quarterback in the league. That's something right there. Most lopsided matchup of the weekend. We got the Houston Texans traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Ravens are 10-point favorites. I'll start here. Like I was saying about Arizona being one of the worst teams in the league, I do think that Houston will surprise us. I think they'll be a better team than some people think. D'Amico Ryans, I think, is going to be a great coach. You just have to give him time to implement what he wants to implement there. I actually think they're going to be a lot like the Bears were last year, where he's just kind of implementing his philosophies into that team. He's going to see who is going to survive his style, and then they're going to go from there. I do like what they did with CJ Stroud, bringing him in. Will Anderson on the defensive side will definitely 110% win Defensive Rookie of the Year. There is zero doubt in my mind. Will Anderson is the Defensive Rookie of the Year. So they got some good pieces there. Baltimore's a good team, though. I got Baltimore winning a wild card spot this year, so I absolutely got Baltimore winning this game. Dango?
I also have Baltimore. I think Lamar's going to be running all over this Houston defense, and they're going to have and he's going to be throwing a lot more too, especially because they went and got him some weapons. Mr. OBJ, who's going to have a great game, and you should be great, having great targets. And I forgot who they also added for receivers. Who else did they get?
Yeah, they got OBJ, who they paid $15 million to. They drafted Zay Flowers.
Flowers.
Who's going to be a nice player for them. And Rashad Bateman's coming back from injury. And you got Mark Andrews there. J.K. Dobbins is coming back. They have Gus Edwards to back him up. They have a very, very nice offensive room around Lamar. It's really make or break for Lamar. I mean, obviously, he's fine. He's not going anywhere. But I mean, like, he's won the MVP before. So I'm not saying it's make or break here. But you always say, what do we always say about Lamar? That he doesn't have the talent around him. You need to put weapons around Lamar. Now you got, I'm not saying OBJ is the cream of the crop by any means, but you put validated weapons around this guy. So we'll see what happens for sure. Dylan?
Yeah, I'm also going to go with the Ravens, but I think that CJ Stroud is going to surprise a lot of people in this game. I think they make it more closer than what the spread is for the screen right here, the -10, But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to come down to one of those last few drives for Baltimore to win. And it's going to be I'm for one, it's going to be a lot closer than what people think it's going to be.
All right. Dylan says Houston plus the points. Understood. Tease Houston plus the points. All right. We got another battle of the AFC South right here. The Jacksonville Jaguars, who won the division, and there are a lot of people's favorites that get deep into the playoffs, are going to travel to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Colts are 5.5-point favorites. Colts got rookie quarterback Anthony Richardson starting for him or for them. Let's see what he's got this year. The arm's not there. He's got the legs. He's got a cannon. I shouldn't say the arm's not there. The accuracy isn't there. The vision isn't there yet. A lot of the same things you can say about Justin Fields, you can say about this kid. But this kid's got actual more raw arm talent. So it'll be interesting.
Like a Cam Newton.
Yeah, potential. Yep, exactly. But for me, this is easy peasy. If I was doing a survivor pick this weekend, it's Jacksonville. Indianapolis rookie quarterback. Shoo, man. This team, T-Law going into another year. Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram. If you listen to anything I say on Roto Slappers ever about running backs in fantasy football, Travis Etienne is going to be that guy this year. That guy is going to be an RB1 this year. I love Jacksonville, and I love Doug Peterson, and he's just going to make that team even better. Jacksonville smokes this game. Dylan?
Yeah, Jacksonville is going to open it up, and I think they're going to open it up very early. For one, I think Calvin Ridley comes in with this new team. I think he shreds this Colts defense. I think Trevor Lawrence has a fantastic game. He has all these weapons around him, and it's the Colts. I mean, the Colts had that rookie, Jonathan Taylor. He wants out. This is gonna be a disaster for the Colts. So I got So I got Jacksonville, and I just think they absolutely open it up on them.
Yeah, Dango.
I also have Jacksonville. I expect a Tony Khan pep talk for them like he does before AEWs before this Jacksonville team.
You're goofy. Yeah, he's going to be sitting there with T-Law and Travis Etienne after it. Let's keep it going. Ivan talked about them a little bit earlier. Denver Broncos host the Las Vegas Raiders. The Broncos, new look team with Sean Payton at the helm. Most disappointing team in football, bar none. Bar none were the Denver Broncos last year. In addition to them being the most disappointing team in football, we had to watch them on national TV over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. This year, I think it's going to be different. Jerry Jeudy going down early doesn't help that offense by any means. We talked about it earlier. The AFC is deep, deep, deep. The Broncos, I think, can go 9-8 and still be the 10th seed in the conference. Do they win this game, though? Absolutely. I got Denver for sure in this one. Dango, what about you, brother?
Ooh, this is a tough one because this is my Patriot brother, Josh McDaniels over there, and Jimmy Garoppolo. If I'm going Denver, I'm going with the safe pick in Denver.
Dylan, what about you, man? Break the Raiders down a little bit for us, man. Where do you see the Raiders falling this year?
I mean, you're coming in with a new quarterback, taking over for Derek Carr. I kind of feel like their only true weapon there is Devontae Adams. I don't really know much about the Raiders. I don't keep up with the AFC too much, but I don't know. It's going to be a different look team with Jimmy Garoppolo there. So, but for the game itself, I just think that Russell Wilson and Sean Payton are going to have a good relationship together. They always liked each other prior to Sean Payton going there. And now that he's there, I think, for one, it makes Russell Wilson a better player. He was great in Seattle. He goes to Denver. He struggles a lot. But for one, I think Sean Payton makes him a better player, and they have a great relationship. And they have a lot better year. From what I know, Jerry Jeudy going down in training camp was really tough. But I just think, Russell Wilson's going to be Russell Wilson. We always know him as a great player, and he had that one bad year in Denver, but I think he has a better season. And like I said, I think he's gonna have a better year with Sean Payton. Sean Payton going there. Sean Payton is Sean Payton. Won a Super Bowl with the Saints. Had that great thing with Drew Brees over there. But he's going there with Russell Wilson. I mean, he's former Super Bowl champion. The guy's good. So for what, Denver's gonna win this game.
Love it. And they put all that money into the offensive line. Even with Javonte Williams out a little bit, Samaje Perine will be fine to substitute for him. I like Denver. I just don't like Denver more than I like them 9-8, which sucks because Nathaniel Hackett was a complete and utter moron. Just a moron. Let's keep it rolling. San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy's team. They traded Trey Lance. Jimmy Garoppolo is no longer around. These are the major stories here in San Francisco. Brock Purdy is the guy going to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Steelers are 2.5-point favorites. I know it's preseason, as we always say. You can't take much from it. Kenny Pickett has looked much better this preseason, though. You got Deontay Johnson. You got George Pickens out here making plays. They had a great draft. That defense is solid. Where's Pittsburgh falling this year? Dangle, let's start with you. Who's winning this game?
I think I'm going with Pittsburgh. That black and steel defense. TJ Watt coming back. He's gonna be a big difference maker for that team. Controlling the ball with Najee Harris, keeping Pickett to do that play action. But I can also see San Francisco. So yeah, I'm going. I'm going with San Francisco. I changed my mind. I just realized a lot.
Son of a gun. Yeah, I know. I was thinking the same thing, man. I love Pittsburgh here, but I'm not going to make my pick. I'll make Dylan make his pick. Who you got, Dylan? Who you got in this game?
So I'm actually going to stick to my guns and go with Pittsburgh. I'm not going to change, because I've been going back and forth with this one. It's an intriguing matchup, but I'm going to go Pittsburgh. That defense is good. TJ Watt, yeah, he's coming back. You got Patrick Peterson, who just came over there to play corner for them. Patrick Peterson, still at that older age, he's still playing lights out football. So I think he actually makes that defense better. And, San Francisco, I'm not sold on the quarterback. I'm not sold on Brock Purdy. But he's playing with one of the best tight ends in the league with George Kittle. Let's get that out the way. He's playing
with out this week, though. Who's probably out this week? Where did that come from? Why are you out again? Why did I draft you in 10 leagues? All right, no one cares about my drafts.
Yeah. So no, I mean, I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh. And it's just off that defense. Kenny Pickett, yeah, he looked good in preseason, but like you said, preseason is preseason. So I don't know, man. This is a tough one, but it's in Pittsburgh, and I always talk about hostile environments, and Pittsburgh is known terrible towels. That crowd over there is fantastic. Even though I'm not big on Pittsburgh fans, I actually know a few over here, and they just talk and talk and talk. It's the most annoying thing ever. But yeah, no, I'm gonna go Pittsburgh. It's in Pittsburgh. It's just looking good for them.
Oh man. So this is going to be another one of those things, right? Where I'm going to say right now, I'm going to take the Steelers. But when we do our picks on the website, I'm probably going to write down San Francisco. But for everything Dylan said, I like Pittsburgh this week. I like Pittsburgh a lot this week. This game is just screaming at me to take Pittsburgh, but I'm also screaming to take Cleveland. So why am I trying to go against Cincinnati and San Francisco, which is a potential Super Bowl matchup, which I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking. So I'm going to say Pittsburgh here. But again, when you check out the article on the website, it'll likely be under TK, San Francisco. You're like, what? That's okay. That's all right. Let's keep this train rolling.
He's throwing everyone off. He's throwing the Fanatics off. He's throwing all the fans off.
Throwing them all off. All right. Tampa Bay Buccaneers without Tom Brady. Go to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Vikings were just a monster last year. They won 9 games by single digits. Well, 8 points or less. So I had single digits. They won 9 games last year by 8 points or less. Do they repeat it this year? Probably not. Tampa Bay, Minnesota. Tampa Bay is, I said, one of the worst teams in the league. We were talking earlier about Arizona, Houston. Tampa Bay, bottom 5 team in the league. No doubt in my mind. Minnesota smokes them. Well, actually, they don't. Minnesota doesn't smoke anybody, all right? Baker Mayfield somehow keeps this game close. Minnesota wins like 23-17 or something. Oh, I guess we get a push for the spread. There we go. It's a push. Dylan, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going with Minnesota as well. I think their offense is going to look interesting. This is the first time we see this team without Dalvin Cook. It's a true test for Alexander Madison coming in as that RB1. So I'm intrigued by this Minnesota offense. And it all goes to, I think, one of the best receivers in the league, Justin Jefferson. He has a good connection with Kirk Cousins. And like we mentioned, Tampa Bay is Tampa Bay. They had those few years of glory with Tom Brady over there. So now they're going back to what they were. And, we're going to see all those fans, just disappear because all these Tampa Bay fans came out of nowhere once Tom Brady signed over there. And it was the most annoying damn thing to see because as a fan of the Saints and that we play the Buccaneers and all of a sudden, and this is before Tom Brady gets there, it's on the internet, and for one, you don't see any Bucs fans, and then Tom signs there, and then they come out of nowhere. So I don't think you're going to see that much this season. They're going to be a bottom team of the NFL by far. I think Minnesota wins pretty big, not like a huge blowout, like where fans are leaving in the third quarter, but it's going to be a lot closer. But I still want Minnesota to beat the hell out of them.
Yeah. I'm sure you do. Ivan says, "Let's go Niners." Damn you, Dylan. Why, JK? All good, brother. And then you too, TK. It's just one of those week. Yo, remember, Chicago Bears won 3 games last year. I know it was a rainstorm, but we beat the Niners week 1. I don't know. Maybe there's that adjustment period. Now the Niners are they're so good, man. God, they are the most. We always said they're the best team in the league. 1-52, they just need the quarterback. It's all on his shoulders. It's all on Purdy's shoulders. Dango, Tampa Bay or Minnesota? Who do you got?
I got Minnesota winning by 10 points and Justin Jefferson having a big day and making me regret trading him for Patrick Mahomes for a
That'll be a regret that you might have forever. But it's hard to get a Justin Jefferson type guy. Let's keep this going. We're going to go to Dylan first. Or no, we're going to save Dylan for last. Tennessee Titans taking on the New Orleans Saints. I'll start. Titans. Everyone just dogs the Titans. I don't quite get why people dog the Titans. Titans have a really nice team fundamentally. They got a nice line on both sides of the ball. They're great in the trenches. Derrick Henry is an absolute dog. Ryan Tannehill is fine. I know he might have went crazy after they blew the game to Cincinnati in the playoffs 2 years ago, and like his head might not be there anymore. But again, when we're talking about the AFC, you got like 13 good teams. This is 13 adequate teams. This is one of those teams that'll easily go 8-9, 9-8. That could go 10-7 though, 10-8. But in the dome, the crowd's going to be rowdy. Derek Carr is going to be pumped. Michael Thomas is going to be healthy. Chris Olave. Give me the Saints to pull it out like 21-20. 21-20 New Orleans. Game-winning field goal. That's how you get it. That's my take. Dango, what about you?
Ooh, I also got New Orleans. I think it's Derek Carr is going to have a huge day with his new offense, and he's going to throw a touchdown to Taysom Hill.
Derek Carr to Taysom Hill. I like that prediction, Dango. The man of the hour, the Saints fan himself. Dylan, what do you got, my man?
So if the game was in Tennessee, I would be more like, I guess, iffy predicting this one because the Saints on the road. I mean, all right, for the past seasons, yeah, they've looked better on the road than what they have. But this is the Superdome. This is the regular season debut for Derek Carr. You have a healthy Michael Thomas, Chris Olave starting his sophomore season. And like I just mentioned, you have that loaded tight end room, Jawan Johnson. You got Jimmy Graham there, Taysom Hill, Foster Moreau. The offensive line, I've really critiqued, but they have looked good. That first team offensive line has looked good. So you protect Derek Carr. And the only question going into this one is how is Jamal Williams going to perform as that RB1 while Alvin Kamara is out? You got Kendra Miller there, who is a rookie at a TCU. I'm interested to see how he goes as well. He does give those Kamara vibes to me as well because he is a good receiving back. So I'm really interested to see so many questions going into this game. I can't wait for my show tomorrow to actually break more of this down than what I'm doing right now. But Yeah, it's the dome. I'm going with the Saints. I don't think it's even close that I'm gonna pick against them. Derek Carr is gonna have a great day, but it's all about containing Derrick Henry. If you can stop Derrick Henry, I think you win this game because I don't trust Ryan Tannehill. And I've had a bold prediction before the season even started that at some point I think they turn to Will Levis. He's that second round guy. Just a lot of teams passed on him. I remember they had that rumor going around that he would be the first pick, and the odds, went his way, and then obviously it was a big flop for that. But for some reason, Tennessee took a shot on him, and I think if Tannehill disappoints this year, I think they turn to him. So I'm going New Orleans. I think they win, and I don't think it's going to be that winning field goal thing. We're going to be relying on the rookie kicker right there, which I'm hoping that we don't have to rely on him week 1 and in the Superdome for that game-winning kick.
That makes me want to take my 24-21 Titans pick right back. No, I'll leave it what it is. This is a tough one.
I got a rookie kicker as well.
Kickers. I hate kickers. Ugh. Anyway, I can talk about kickers for hours. You'll hear the disdain I feel about kickers. Anyway, this is the game, right? This is the game, my game. The Bears. So Green Bay versus Chicago. The Bears are going to score 137 points. Packers are going to score -3. The Bears. No, I'm just kidding. I'll go to you guys first. I'll finish up just like Dylan did. Dylan, let's kick it back to you. Bears, Packers. Who you got, man?
Yeah, looking forward to this. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, this is not the Aaron Rodgers that's going to be terrorizing the Bears like he always says he owns them and whatnot. This is a Jordan Love team coming in, and I'm not exactly sold on Jordan Love just yet. He has learned behind Aaron Rodgers for years. They took him when Aaron Rodgers was still there for a couple years, so that made Aaron Rodgers question the loyalty that they had for him. But for some reason, I'm not sold too much yet. They have Christian Watson there, who I think is an absolute stud. But if he plays well with Jordan Love, this Packers team will look better than what people think. They still got Aaron Jones over there. They still got A.J. Dillon there. This is going to be a better Packers team than what most people think. But I like the Bears in this one. Justin Fields is a proven quarterback, in my opinion. They just got DJ Moore over there. He looked great in preseason. If they can transition that preseason play over to that regular season, I think the Bears are that sneaky good team to maybe, I'm not going to say win a division that is a good division, but they can even finish second in that division. I really like the Bears this year. The Bears are looking good this year. Preseason wise, they look great. So I'm looking forward to see how this Bears team look. I got a lot of family in Illinois that is going to be, talking about the Bears as well. Saints do play the Bears this year, so I'm looking forward to trash talk from you, Tim, from my family from Illinois as well. So, but no, yeah, give me the Bears in this one. I think they beat their rivals. This is going to be a different look Packers team, and I think the Bears look good.
I'm not going to complain about that. That's for sure. Love hearing what you got to say. What about you, Dango? What you got, my dude?
I also got the Bears. I think Justin Fields runs all over this Packer team and throws for a ton with his new target, DJ Moore. And Tim's going to be super excited.
Man, I hope so. I hope you both are right. Now, listen, I'm not going to sit here and pick against the Bears. There's no way in hell I'm going to sit here and say Green Bay is going to beat us. Last time we played Green Bay was at our house, and we were winning. We were up like 17 points, and there was a part of me that was sitting there at the bar screaming, I don't care about the number 1 pick. God, was I an idiot? Thank God we lost this game. But I don't care about this number 1 pick. Lose the game. Let's beat the Packers today. You don't own us, Aaron. Well, they came back. He owned us as he always does, which is why Justin Fields said, what rivalry is it that you're talking about? I don't get this rivalry talk. This isn't a rivalry. All they do is kick our butts. There is no rivalry here. And the kid has got it here. And that is so important. And he's got the legs. If he's got the arm, anything in the arm, well, this team could be a really fun team going forward. Week 1 of the season, we're going to be hyped in the crowd. Problem is, Green Bay scares me. They ain't got to do too much with Jordan Love's arm. The defense is okay. The offensive line is pretty subpar, though. But all he's got to do is dink and dive to Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, who are both fantastic running backs. And I expect big things out of A.J. Dillon this year. And you got Christian Watson. You got Romeo Dobbs. I like those. And you brought in the rookie Jaden Reed out of Michigan State. They have a nice wide receiver room, and their offense is just quick hitters, quick slants, quick dumps, dives, or dink and dives to the running backs. I'm scared. I am certainly scared. Our team has not been healthy. Our offensive line isn't healthy at all. Our linebackers have not been healthy. We haven't seen any sort of semblance of full health from this team. I'm nervous. I am very nervous. But with that being said, the Bears. I ain't fucking taking it. I'm not taking the Bears. That's right. That's right. Time to respect our name, Graydon says. That's right. Let's go. The Bears. The Bears. All right, let's keep this going. Let's swing on over to the NFC West, a battle of, this game was a big game a couple of years ago, theoretically. Now, I don't know if it's such a big game. The Los Angeles Rams versus Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are 5.5-point favorites. Seahawks got to the playoffs last year. Geno Smith had a career year. Geno Smith had a better year last year than Russ ever had in Seattle passing. As crazy as that sounds. The Rams, Cooper Kupp's already hurt. Matthew Stafford's old. The offensive line isn't very good. The defense isn't great. They got Aaron Donald, obviously, who changes everything. You got Cam Akers on the offense side of the ball. They're just going to pound. Seattle had a great draft. I love Seattle here. I like Seattle for sure. I think it's like a 3-point game because Seattle never seems to blow teams out. Like, they'll be losing. They'll score a touchdown with like 3.5 minutes to go, and that'll be the end of the game. Seattle wins by 4 points. Dango.
I'm going with also Seattle. I think Metcalf and DJ Metcalf is a huge game, and Geno Smith proves everyone that last year was not a fluke.
Love it. Love it. Dylan, what about you, my guy?
Yeah, since the no call, I would never pick the Rams. So give me the Seahawks.
Easy peasy, baby. I love it. I love it. Let's keep it going. Oh, this matchup. This is going to be a slobber knocker. I'm telling you guys. This is going to be this could be a 70-point game. I know it's the first week of the season, so we might see lower scoring games. But again, no one plays defense in the NFL, so who knows? This is going to be a slobber knocker. Miami, the Chargers. Oh my God, Brandon Staley is the worst coach in the NFL, not named Arthur Smith and Dennis Allen, but he might be the worst coach in the NFL because he's in that boat with them. Give me the Chargers. I love Justin Herbert. They're healthy. They got a healthy team. They're healthy. Week 1, they're healthy. Week 5, they might not be. The fact that this game's going down in week 1 and Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are going to be on the field, it's very important to this team. Chargers win this game by 4. They cover the spread. Dango, who do you got?
I also have the Chargers because you got the East Coast going to the West Coast. That's a big deal with the time change. So I expect a big day. Hopefully Tua doesn't get a concussion.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not, man. That kid's so good when he's healthy. Let's hope that kid stays upright. They got to protect him. Let's protect that kid at all costs. Dylan, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm going with the Chargers as well. You know, the Chargers are just too good, but they play in such a great division. They play in a great AFC conference, and also Eli Apple plays for the Dolphins. I hate his guts, so I just hope Justin Herbert destroys this dude.
I love how you make your picks, dude. Your picks are all Saints-centric, so I love that. We got 3 games to go. We're cruising. Let's hit it, baby. Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles. Listen, they lost a lot this offseason, but they had a fantastic draft. The Philadelphia Eagles, who lost in the Super Bowl on a really sketchy call as well. Eagles fans would be salty with refs as well, I'm sure. Traveled to the New England Patriots, where they're 4-point favorites. I'll start this time. Man, how don't you love Philadelphia, man? It is that team on both sides of the ball is special. Jason Kelsey is so fun. He is just so Bakley's always sending me these videos of him, and this dude is just a riot. I can't wait for a show. He's got a show coming out, I think, on Amazon. That looks just absolutely fantastic. Cannot wait to watch that. Again, when you talk about when you're good in the trenches, you're good in the trenches. They might have lost Miles Sanders, but they paid DeAndre Swift and Rashad Penny and Kenneth Gainwell and Boston Scott the exact same amount of money that Miles Sanders just went and got paid. I was talking earlier about what the Bears did with their linebackers and compared to Roquan. It's the exact same thing they did with Miles Sanders in Philly. You lose someone on the inside on the defensive line. Oh, man, I'm having a brain fart. Who went to San Francisco? A stud. I forgot who they lost. Who they lose? I forget. But you go ahead and you replace him with a stud like Jalen Carter. You just go and draft Nolan Smith. Like you just went and stockpiled young defensive studs in this draft. Man, I love the Eagles this year. And I love the Eagles in this game. Mac Jones, please get out of here. Get out. Dylan.
There's a Mac Jones jersey.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Eagles as well. But the Patriots better not hope that Mac Jones gets hurt, or else I feel like Bill Belichick's gonna be playing quarterback. They released all their quarterbacks, and I think they picked one up.
Yep,
back
we got
him
the
up,
guy
but-
from the Panthers, Corral.
Oh, great. I liked him coming out too. I did. I liked him coming out. He was young, man. I liked him coming out. Ole Miss?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, him and Travis do a great podcast. Yeah, Bakley's always sending me this. I ain't got time to listen to podcasts. Like I listen to all these podcasts. Like I don't have time to listen to other podcasts. All right. So Dango, who you got in this game?
I got the Patriots. I think this is gonna be a big year for Mac because this is gonna be the year where you decide if this is it for him, if he's gonna be the guy in New England. But he will only go as far as this offensive line. Our offensive line already has 2 guys on injured reserve, and all 3 guys are questionable on the inside.
You're sitting there with us, man. Yeah, that's why I'm nervous. You're sitting there with us. All right, but you're going with your home team, as we all are. So we are nothing if we are not Fanatics. That's all I got to say about that. And now we come down to waiting all day for Sunday night. Yes. We get Kerry back on our screens, which no one is ever going to complain about. We get Sunday Night Football. We get a monster rivalry between the Dallas Cowboys and New York Giants. Both teams made the playoffs last year. It's a big game, fellas. It's a huge year for Dak. The Cowboys, and Dak had all the leverage over the Cowboys. And he was basically going to hold them hostage again and make him pay him a ton of money without, with being like the 16th best quarterback in the league, 12th best quarterback in the league. Now, what they do? They went and traded a 4th-round pick for Trey Lance. Let's see what you got. Trey Lance. I know that has nothing to do with this game, but it has everything to do with Dak Prescott's season, which is why, as much as I love Brian Daboll, because I do, something about this Giants team this year, I always call it first-year head coach syndrome. Same reason with the Vikings and Kevin O'Connell. They're going to fall off. Giants are going to fall off. First-year head coach syndrome is gone. Dallas beats the Giants. Dango, who do you got?
I also have Dallas beating the Giants. I think it's going to be a big game by their running back. I forgot it. Oh, fuck. Oh, what's his name?
Tony Pollard.
Yep, Tony. It's going to be a big game by him. It should be a great but close game. I think it comes down to 1 or 2 drives.
Oh, great news. Travis Kelce, it's not an ACL, so no ligament damage. Thank God. Because that would change this season big time. Let's see. No, it really doesn't. He's your 3rd string right now, but Cooper Rush isn't your future. Trey Lance is a guy that you can come in who was the 2nd overall pick in the draft, 3rd overall pick in the draft, that you could groom to be your future. You could see what he has. So while it has absolutely no pertinent to this season, it's pertinent to next season, which means Dak better perform. So he's got something behind him now. So it's very important. It's very, very important in the long-term scheme of the Dallas Cowboys for sure. And then we got Monday Night Football, right? We got the main event. We got the main event of the weekend. And this is a slobber knocker of a main event.
Oh, I never picked it.
Oh, shoot. My bad. I got distracted. I got distracted by the Trey Lance comment. I'm so sorry, Dylan. I should have seen it on your face. On your face. Oh, and I'm even more distracted. What is up, Kayla? What's good, girl? Hope you're having a good night. I'm just skipping Dylan out here, not letting him picks, not letting him make picks. And actually, the fact that we are 15 games in and this was the first time I did this, I'm pretty impressed with myself. So,
yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, this is a make or break year, I think, for Dak. They traded that 4th-round pick for a reason. He's not going to be a 3rd string for long. I think he passes up Cooper Rush pretty quickly on that depth chart. And this is one that is really going to put the pressure on Dak. But for some reason, I don't think the Giants fall off like most people are predicting. Brian Daboll won Coach of the Year for a reason. He has a good team behind him. I think Daniel Jones is finally that proven quarterback in New York. I think they win on Sunday night. They're at home. It's gonna be a packed crowd over there. It's gonna be a good game. That Dallas New York rivalry has always been fun to watch, and I feel like they always get the primetime spot on week one, which seems like a pretty common thing for week one. But I think the Giants finally get there on Sunday night. They start off 1-0, and for some reason that loss just puts more pressure on Dak to have Trey Lance behind him.
Oh, love it. KPG is coming. KPG is coming. Dingo, did I get you?
Yes, you did. I said that.
All right, just making sure. Now let's go to the main event of the weekend. And I mean, this is the main event of the weekend. We got Monday Night Football. We got the Buffalo Bills going to the Meadowlands to take on the New York Jets. Jets. No, I ain't doing that. Aaron Rodgers, get on out of here. I had to almost do it for Peter. It's his show. He's a Jets fan. I'm not going to pull it off for you. I hate Aaron Rodgers. You know how I feel about Aaron Rodgers. But he is still a pretty solid quarterback in the NFL. I mean, his peers are still voting him a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. When your peers are voting you something like that, then that's got to be saying something about you. Aaron Rodgers takes over Robert Saleh's offense on the New York Jets. They brought in Dalvin Cook. You got Breece Hall there. You got Garrett Wilson, who's just a stud. You got Alan Lazard they brought in. You got Mecole Hardman there. Offense is good. The defense was never a problem. But Buffalo, I thought Buffalo was going to win the Super Bowl last year. I picked them to win the Super Bowl. I kind of on my document have Buffalo still floating around the Super Bowl. Oh, this is a fun game to start the year. I'm taking Buffalo. Dango. What? Actually, we'll save you for last. It's your division. Dylan, what about you?
Yeah, as many changes as the Jets made the offseason, having that young offense and defense, Sauce Gardner winning Rookie of the Year on defense, Garrett Wilson winning it, kind of like how the Saints did back in 2017 with Lattimore winning the Rookie of the Year on defense and Kamara winning it. Kind of gave me that kind of flashback of how the Jets did it. The Jets added so many pieces, of course, the main one being Aaron Rodgers, but the Bills are still the Bills. And I think they still control that division no matter what. As many people, for some reason, picking the Jets because Aaron Rodgers is there for some reason, it's still the Bills' division to lose, in my opinion. So I think the Bills go over there. They spoiled the big debut in the regular season on Monday night for Aaron Rodgers, and they start off 1-0.
Yes. I love that. Dango, what about you?
I'm also going Buffalo because I think Buffalo has still too many weapons, and I think Aaron Rodgers has some growing pains with his new receivers.
Oh, okay.
Remember when Tom Brady went over there that first game and struggled with his new crew against the New Orleans Saints?
Yep, I remember.
You tell him, Kayla. Ew, Aaron Rodgers. You tell him, Kayla. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's it. And you know what, gentlemen? That's it. The week 1 of the NFL season is here. We are just 2 days away. Thursday night football, Kansas City Chiefs, Detroit Lions. Cannot wait. I just wanted to thank you guys for joining me tonight. This was awesome. Can't wait for Peter to be back. But in the meantime, this was an absolute blast. And if you guys want to come back with me next Tuesday, you're more than welcome to come back with me next Tuesday. Dylan, before we get on out of here, can you let the people know where they can find you?
Sure. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, on X, whatever you decide to call it nowadays, at Dylan Hebert _ with football season coming up this week. I will be full blast on there. Hit me up. I would always be loving to talk some football with y'all. My show, Dome Field Advantage, is on tomorrow. I'll be welcoming Justin Patterson. He's a big Titans fan. Talk some Saints Titans week 1 matchup. I'll be breaking it down way more than I broke it down tonight. I was trying to save a little bit for tomorrow. And also, if you're into wrestling, every Thursday, 7:30 Central, the World Elite podcast, we got a good one going on this Thursday, 7:30. We did our Bray Wyatt tribute last week. It's doing great on YouTube right now. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. We had someone who knew Bray personally, told some great stories, shared some pictures and whatnot. But yeah, that's where you can find me at.
It was a wonderful episode, bro. It was a wonderful episode, and everything you're doing with Dome Field Advantage is just awesome. Look forward to seeing you and JP tomorrow night. No doubt, talking Saints and Titans. My boy, Dirty Dango, where can the people find you, brother?
You can find me all over the place on the X at the Bump Boys, or you can find me tomorrow night for the AEW Dynamite review and watch along with Tim over here. And you can also find me this Sunday, 8 Eastern, for Outrage Control.
Yes. Outrage Control, baby. Oh, man, I'm so excited. I am so excited for Outrage Control. No doubt. No doubt. And I just want to thank all of you. Everyone who came into the chat, commented. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. We appreciate you greatly. To everyone who will watch, to everyone who will listen, thank you so very much. Again, we have so much great content here. Sports, wrestling, entertainment, just every day, couple times a day. Be here. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button, especially it's for tomorrow night. Don't feel the advantage. AEW talk. We got NFL talk coming Friday night again. We got this week, Thursday night, UW Pod, Wrestle Bread. We got a big banging week game night with us on Saturday. And we got the director's cut with the boy, with our brother Graydon coming up right now. 8:30 Central Time. He's talking about the Equalizer 3. Just very excited to hear what he's got. Equalizer, just a badass movie. Denzel just does what Denzel does. But boys, appreciate you guys greatly for coming on with me. Peter, thank you for letting me fill in for you. It was a blast. Hope you enjoy the show when you watch it back. And to all you out there, enjoy week 1. We out.